Well, today we're going to look at some RV gear. It's a Tuesday, which means it's gear day. So we're going to look at some gear. And I tell you what, two things I want to look at today in terms of toys that we can play with, and really more than toys. They're things that we could both these things we could use in our RVs for sure, or vans. What I want to look at first is an induction stove, and then I want us to look at a propane fire pit. Now, I know you're probably familiar with both of these, but you got to remember, I'm new. I'm trying to learn this stuff. So let's run over to the induction stove and see what we're dealing with first here. Now, the induction stove cooktop, I'm just going to go through some pros and cons here real quick. They're very energy efficient compared to a traditional electric cooktop, which is good because we're on a lithium battery. Water often boils much quicker than on propane. It's safer, no open flame, cleaner indoor air, easy to clean, and you get this precise temperature control. Now, I know a lot of cooks like to cook on an open flame, which means they're going to want propane. But I'm looking for efficiency. And an induction cooktop uses electromagnetic energy, which means the pan itself becomes hot, and it's this electromagnetic current that goes on between the induction stovetop and the van and the pan. The pan itself gets hot, but the stovetop stays cool, which is nice. So you don't burn yourself on the top of the stove. The pan will get hot. Cons: high electrical demand, typically draws 1200 to 1800 watts. So you're going to need a pretty good battery bank. Requires a large battery bank. Lithium batteries for practical off-grid use. Needs a quality inverter, 2 to 3000 watts. Solar alone may not work, may not do it. Not enough energy. Only works with magnetic cookware, so you do have to buy specific pots and pans to work with it. Cast iron and many stainless steel pans work. Aluminum and copper generally do not unless they have magnetic base. So cast iron and many stainless steel pans will work. Generally more expensive than a simple propane stove once you've included or upgraded the electrical system. So that's a pretty good reason to use them. An induction cooktop is ideal for a van that's got, all right, here's some basic requirements here. A lithium battery bank, 200 to 400 amp hours, a 2000 watt or larger pure sine wave inverter, 2000 watt wave inverter, solar panels and or a DC to DC charger for recharging, a preference for an all electrical van with no propane system. So if you want to get rid of propane altogether, this is the best way to do it. If you're trying to keep costs down or camp for an extended period without driving or sunshine, a propane stove is the way to go. So it's best for these requirements here. It's less ideal if you're trying to keep costs down or camp for extended periods without driving or sunshine. A propane stove can still be a more practical choice because you don't have the energy. It's all about whether or not you've got the battery power and you're willing to live with a large battery bank. If you're trying to cut costs and you're not going to have a bunch of battery power, then you're not going to be able to perhaps use that induction stove. The bottom line, for many modern van builders, induction is the premium solution. It's fast, clean, safe cooking. Otherwise, propane remains the simple and more economical option. But as for me, I think I want to get rid of propane. I just don't like dealing with gas. So that's the induction cooktop. we'll look at them online here in a minute on Amazon and look at the prices. Now the next one is the fire pit. Someone talked about a propane fire pit the other day, and I wanted us to look at that. This is what one looks like. This is a sample of one, a propane fire pit. Now this is for, the reason this came up in a conversation the other day is because there are some camps, it's becoming more and more common now, especially during fire season and on the West Coast. Anytime you're in a wooded area, campsites are not allowing open fires anymore. They're not, they're clamping down on the ability to start a fire and to have a fire pit. And so the propane fire pit is a way to overcome that. If you like to have an open flame at your campsite, these propane fire pits can really work well. Legs, this particular one has folding legs for easy storage, durable propane burner, shows an adjustable regulator. Pretty cool. Portable propane fire pit has become very popular with RVers and van lifers because it provides much of the campfire experience without any of the drawbacks of a wood fire. So I don't know if the ambiance is exactly the same and you don't have the crackling of the firewood, but hey, if you can't have an open fire at a camp, this is the next best thing. How it works. A propane fire pit is essentially a metal bowl with a gas burner covered by lava rocks or fireglass. It connects to a standard 20-pound propane tank and ignites with an built-in starter. Pros, you don't have to gather wood. Thank you, Jesus. We don't have to chop or cut wood, which of course is the main advantage of having a wood fire, is you've got that beautiful wood crackling noise and smell of firewood. There's no smoke, so your clothes, hair, and everything won't smell. No flying embers or sparks. Turns on and off in seconds. No ashes to clean up. Much easier to control the flame, so you could cook over it. Set up the propane fire pit and use some sort of a grill or some sort of a system where you cook on top. Cons, doesn't produce the cracking sound and aroma of real wood fire. That's going to be the biggest drawback right there. It doesn't provide much heat compared with a large wood fire. Consumes propane, so you'll need to carry a lot of extra fuel. It's bulkier, because a lot of times you can find firewood on site and you don't even have to carry anything. So it's something that you have to carry in your RV or in the garage of your van, to where if you don't, if you just use firewood, a lot of times you just collect firewood when you're at the campsite. High initial cost, more than a basic campfire ring. All right, can you use one of these during fire bans? Sometimes, but not always. This is one of the biggest advantages of a propane fire pit. Many campgrounds, state parks, and public lands allow propane fire pits during stage 1 or a moderate fire restriction, because they don't create ambers and they can be extinguished immediately. However, here are some exceptions. Some parks prohibit all open flames during severe fire danger. Some parks allow propane stoves and grills for cooking, but not fire pits used for recreation. So the rule of thumb is, never assume your propane fire pit is allowed just because wood fires are banned. Check the campground or the land manager's current regulations before using it. Here are some buying tips. Look for one that's 19 to 24 inch diameter. It's not too large, not too small. CSA approval. Adjustable flame control, push button ignition. You want one with a carry bag. at least 58,000 to 65,000 BTU, and standard hose with a regulator. Is it worth carrying in a van? For many van travelers, yes. If you enjoy sitting outside in the evening, a propane fire pit creates a comfortable gathering spot. If, however, you're usually inside after sunset and you're trying to minimize gear, then you may just want to forget about it. And of course, the safety tip here is don't turn this thing on inside your van or under an awning or inside a tent. I mean, duh. You'd have to be a real idiot to do that, but I bet there's somebody that's probably tried it. Like any propane appliance with an open flame, it produces carbon monoxide and consumes oxygen. It should always be used in a well-ventilated area. So that's the fire pit. Well, let's run over and take a look at some of these on Amazon and see what Amazon shows here. Now here's the induction cooktops you can see here on Amazon. 1800 watt portable electric induction cooktop burner. Has a child lock. They're not that expensive, really, when you look at them. The expense is going to be in you having a battery bank, and you're paying for the charging of those batteries. You got to have the electricity because these things pull a lot of power. 1800 watts. But the items themselves don't look that expensive. Anywhere from, on the low side, 50 bucks on up to 150, 200 bucks, I guess. But most of them look like they're under 100 bucks or 200 at the most, so they're not that expensive. Well, what about cookware? Let's look up some pans here. Cookware set. See what pots and pans are available. Non-stick pots and pans, induction titanium cookware set. Now that's a whole nice set right there for 90 bucks. Not bad. Ooh, look at this one. 300 bucks. Scratch defense non-stick induction pots and pans. Now we're talking. That looks really nice. That one right there. So there's plenty of choice here. There's plenty of things to look at if you're looking to buy some cooktop gear for your induction cook stove. Well, what about the propane fire pit? You can get those on Amazon, of course, as well. Is there anything you can't get on Amazon? Looks like they're going to be anywhere from 130, 150 bucks on up. Not bad. Well, let's just pull one up. What about this one here? Outland Living Firebowl Smokeless Fire Pit. And this one's 24 inches, 58,000 BTU, black. So it's got all our requirements. Pretty cool. If nothing else, it would be a good backup for those times when you can't start a fire. Very cool. I like that. So, all right, so what we're looking at here in today's update on gear, we just looked at a couple items, something I wanted more information about, which was the induction cook stove and the propane fire pit. And I think those are going to be two items that'll be certainly on my list of things to purchase when I buy my van. So, well, that's it for today. Tuesday's update, all about gear. So we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. And we hope you'll stick with us. Thanks for being with us. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to get into comments and let me know. You can send me an email. Stay in touch. And if you're out there roundabout and you're cooking over an open flame, be careful. If you're traveling about today on the road and you're spending 3 or 4 hours behind the wheel, be careful. Watch out for those wild drivers out there. Otherwise, take it easy, and I will see you tomorrow.